Shoushan Kaohsiung has always been a forest garden for people to relax and enjoy. The trails are well designed and closely integrated with nature. People rest here, forming a harmonious coexistence with mountain forests. The development of Shoushan since ancient times is already a profound historical chronicle. From the ancient relics of the Makattao people 1,000 years ago to the stone city walls built during the Qing dynasty and the foreign powers that once operated here, then to the military fortifications during the Japanese colonial era and the post-war transformations of modern times, Shoushan has witnessed the significant cultural and historical evolution of southern Taiwan. Today, with Shoushan Natural Nature Park, many precious historical sites still remain. They are worth exploring and experiencing with care. This green gem along the city's coastline. Shoushan Natural Nature Park is Taiwan's very first national nature park. The park covers Shoushan, Banpingshan, Greater and Lesser Guishan, Chiho Mountain, and Zhuoying Old City. It lies along the southwestern coast of Kaohsiung City. The park's natural ecology is rich and diverse. It's a rare place of leisure within the city. Visitors come continuously to hike and explore. If you look carefully, you can discover many traces of history left behind here.
Look, a squirrel! Huh? Don't run around, little brother! Huh? Look over there! I think there are people! There's so many shells and pieces of pottery next to those people. Could this be the Shaoxi shell mound we read about in our book?
Let's turn back time to the Japanese colonial era. A Japanese teacher from Kaohsiung Middle School named Tsuchiya Kyoichi discovered the Neiwei Shaoxi Beizhong historical site behind Longquan Temple in northern Shoushan.
大概2000多年前到推估到500多年。然后他们住在这里，然后他们往下山走，这些都是海。他们早期都是以捡食的方式为主，捡附近潮间带的贝类。你要看到他们陶片呢，厚度比较厚，但是也摸起来如果称起来会比较轻。他们就是把那个陶土揉一揉，然后慢慢用捏的方式，这是他们工艺上的差异。这个是兽骨的部分，我们都推测是陆科的。
之前这边没有这么多的兽骨出来，应该是这次的大雨，然后就把它冲出来，变得更明显。
Let's go see what they're doing!
Oh. In 1995, archaeologist Dr. Liu Yichang was commissioned by the Kaohsiung City Civil Affairs Bureau to conduct trial excavation and research at the site. The excavation unearthed various shell species, pottery rings, sand-mixed pottery, stone tools, and animal bones. The Shaoxi Beizhong proves that Shoushan was inhabited by indigenous people long ago. According to historical records, in 1624, the Dutch East India Company came to Taiwan. In order to build fortifications and settlements, they brought Han Chinese to cut timber and burn limestone here. The Han people also planted rice and formed agricultural communities. To effectively control and manage the area, the Dutch East India Company strengthened its military presence here. Later, this also influenced Zhenzhengong settlement expansion in 1662 on the northern plains near Shoushan. It gradually extended to the areas around Guishan and Lotus Pond. As time moved into the Qing dynasty era, in 1684, Taiwan was divided into one prefecture and 3 counties. Among them, Fengshan County was established in what is now the Zhuoying district of Kaohsiung. In 1704, the magistrate of Fengshan County was ordered to establish the county office at Xinlang village between Guishan and Shoushan near the southern military camp. At first, there were only a few official residences and temples. Bamboo fences were used as makeshift city walls. The area was divided into inner and outer sections.
It's so lively here. So this is what the county city from the Qing dynasty looks like, just like in our textbook. Run! Quick!
In 1721, the government began collecting taxes from the people in cash instead of grain. This triggered the armed uprising known as the Zhuyi Gui Rebellion. Although the government quickly suppressed the revolt, the county office had been heavily damaged. So in the same year, the magistrate rebuilt the city using earthen walls. The new walls were built leaning on Guishan to the right and connecting to Shoushan on the left. However, the peace did not last long. In 1787, the government cracked down on the Heaven and Earth Society. They arrested relatives of its leader, Ling Xuanwen. Ling Xuanwen broke into prison to rescue them, sparking the Ling Xuanwen Rebellion. His southern followers, led by Zhuan Datian, responded immediately and captured the county seat. As a result, the government moved to the current Fengshan area and built a new city there.
They're rebuilding stronger ones, but it looks like the officials have already left the city.
Since the Ling Xuanwen Rebellion had entered the old city through Guishan, the old city was rebuilt and moved northeast during the Second Reconstruction in 1826. It was redefined as releasing the snake to catch the turtle, marking the new county boundaries. The new city walls and gates were built using coral stone. The roofs of the new towers adopted the three-ridge design. Gun platforms were added for better defense. The stone walls were far stronger than the previous earthen ones. On both sides of the outer wall of the north gate, there are clay sculptures of Shenshu and Yuli. They are extremely rare and valuable examples in Taiwan. They remain well preserved to this day. Zhuoying Old City remained largely intact during the Japanese colonial period. Only the west gate and part of the wall were demolished. In 1933, the Japanese Government General of Taiwan designated Zhuoying Old City as a historic site and natural monument. By 1940, the Japanese military began constructing Zhuoying Naval Port. They planned to build roads and official residences. Residents, temples, and Qing-era administrative buildings inside the city were gradually relocated. The city wall near the west gate was demolished. That transformation gave Zhuoying Old City its current appearance. It is now the oldest and most well-preserved stone-walled city structure in Taiwan. The cruise ship's horn echoes across the harbor. At the end of Shoushan, on a small hill, stands Taiwan's oldest surviving Western-style modern building. It is the British consulate at Takao, built in 1879. It was also the first consulate established by the British government in Taiwan. In 1858, the Qing dynasty was defeated by the Anglo-French Allied forces. They signed the Treaty of Tianjin, which opened Taiwan's ports for trade. In 1861, the first British vice consul to Taiwan, Robert Swingho, arrived.
Wow, these little monkeys are so cute!
Kids, did you know? These macaques are native to Taiwan.
Whoa, they're unique to Taiwan!
Robert Swingho was not only a diplomat, but also a naturalist. During his stay, he conducted species surveys and specimen collections across Taiwan. He also published academic papers on his findings. One of his contributions was identifying the Formosan macaque as a unique species of Taiwan. As trade in Taiwan increased, Takao Port opened in 1864. The following year, Britain moved its vice consulate from Tanshui to Takao. It was also upgraded to a full consulate, becoming Britain's first official consulate in Taiwan. The Takao British consulate consists of two parts, the upper and lower sections. The upper section, the consul's residence, was built in post-Renaissance Baroque style. The lower section served as a consular office. The two were connected by a stone staircase. The facade is symmetrical. Its structure is clearly divided into three parts: roof, body, and base, with verandas as a defining feature. The design was influenced by veranda-style buildings used in British India. This architectural form was created by Westerners to adapt to the tropical climates of the East. It became a distinctive colonial architectural style. In the 19th century, the Takao harbor area called Shoushan was home to custom offices, churches, clinics, and trading companies. Western administrative and cultural systems blended with local traditions here. It transformed the local landscape of the time. The British consulate overlooks the mouth of Kaohsiung Harbor. The colonial architecture left by the British Empire was fused with local features to create a unique character. It remains one of Shoushan's most significant cultural assets. Across the sea from the British consulate stands Chiho Mountain in Qing. On the southwest peak of Chiho Mountain lies a well-preserved historical site, the Chiho Fort. In 1683, after the Qing dynasty defeated the Ming loyalists, they stationed troops around Chiho Mountain to control the entrance to Takao Port. After the Opium War in 1840, a fort was built there to strengthen the area's defenses. In 1874, Japan invaded Taiwan under the pretext of the Mudan Incident, landing troops in Henchun. They advanced along multiple routes to suppress the Mudan community and other indigenous villages. After the event, the Qing government sent Shen Baochen to Taiwan to handle the situation. He built the Chiho Fort on the mountain's high ground. In 1883, the Sino-French War broke out. To resist the French invasion of Taiwan, the Chiho Fort was reinforced with protective walls and additional structures. 4 7-inch Armstrong muzzle-loading cannons made in England were installed.
Whoa!
The main gate of Chiho Fort was built in the traditional Chinese 8-character wall style. On both sides of the gate, the double happiness Shi characters were built using red bricks. This reflects a unique coexistence of Eastern and Western architectural elements. In 1894, the Qing dynasty was defeated by Japan in the First Sino-Japanese War. In 1895, the Treaty of Shimonoseki was signed, ceding Taiwan to Japan. Local Taiwanese gentry elected Governor Tan Jinsong as the president and established the Republic of Formosa to resist the Japanese. Japan sent its navy to attack Takao Port. The Formosan forces were quickly defeated and officials fled hastily to Anping. The Japanese easily captured the fort. The inscription Weizhen Tiannan above the gate was hit by Japanese artillery. Only the 2 characters Tiannan survived. During restoration, to preserve the historical authenticity, the 2 surviving characters were enlarged and copied as they were. The missing Weizhen characters were engraved as outlines using a similar font. That's how it appears today. Heading north along Chiho Mountain on the hilltop near the mouth of Kaohsiung Harbor, you can see a pure white structure, the famous Chiho Lighthouse. After Takao Port opened in 1864, as maritime trade and shipping increased, a lighthouse was needed to ensure navigation safety. In 1883, the Qing government commissioned British engineers to build a brick lighthouse with a square slope roof on the summit of Chiho Mountain. In 1908, Japan began harbor construction works at Takao Port. In 1916, they planned to build a new octagonal lighthouse southwest of the old one. The new tower had a cylindrical top, wide walls, and a circular balcony. Its light range was extended to 20.5 nautical miles. A compass was placed above the dome, uniquely marking the 4 directions, east, west, south, and north, in Chinese characters. It became Taiwan's first electric lighthouse. Over the past century, the lighthouse has undergone multiple renovations. Its height was increased to 15.2 meters. To this day, it continues to stand proudly at its post, guiding ships safely into the harbor. In 1907, as Takao Port developed, the population rapidly increased. There was an urgent need for modern urban planning. Thus, the Takao City Redevelopment Plan was launched. In 1908, the Shoushan office officially announced the plan, which included public parks. The designated area corresponds roughly to the hillsides along today's Qing Road in Kaohsiung. In 1922, Kaohsiung's first governor, Tomishima Genji, proposed turning Mount Kaohsiung, Shoushan, into a forest park. In 1923, Crown Prince Hirohito visited Kaohsiung. He ascended Shoushan via Qingguan Road and admired the vast view of the sea and plains. The event was widely publicized, turning the Crown Prince's Taiwan visit into a commemorative occasion.
Sis, who's that? I think that's Crown Prince Hirohito from Japan. He's visiting here.
In 1925, the Kaohsiung authorities commissioned Honda Seiroku, known as the father of Japanese parks, to design Takao Park. The design emphasized scenic trails and viewpoints. More than half of Kaohsiung's Japanese temples were concentrated at the foot of the park's hills, forming a religious landscape system. In addition to commemorative and religious landscapes, recreational facilities were also an important feature. These included the Chishihuan Beach and a golf course. The Little White House was originally the Kaohsiung Golf Clubhouse.
Whoa, it's beautiful. Huh? Whoa, they're playing golf. I want to join too.
It stands on the western cliff edge of Taping-ding. With its pure white exterior, it represents a blend of Japanese and Western architectural styles. The 2-story structure was built using coral stone and reinforced concrete. When completed in 1935, it was painted apple green. It served as a sports and social venue for the local elite. After World War II in 1945, the exterior was repainted pure white. The building's appearance remains simple yet elegant. The first floor features arched corridors, while the second floor has a long connected balcony. From there, one can overlook the Kaohsiung Harbor mouth and the Taiwan Strait. In 1937, with the outbreak of the Second Sino-Japanese War, Kaohsiung was designated as a military fortress with restricted zones. The Little White House was included within the restricted area. The original golf course and clubhouse on the hill were converted for military use.
Mister, why are you sitting here alone?
In 1949, when the nationalist government relocated to Taiwan, the Kaohsiung fortress was taken over by the National Army, and the Little White House welcomed a special guest. That guest was Zhang Xueliang, the young marshal known for the Xi'an incident. Zhang Xueliang and his companion Miss Zhao Shi were held under supervision here for about a year. They lived on the second floor, while the first floor served as a guard office. The young marshal was only allowed outside during the daytime and could not go beyond a 200-meter radius. Before long, Zhang Xueliang was transferred elsewhere. Although his stay was brief, it left a lasting historical mark. As times changed, the little white house still preserves its original architectural form. It now stands in harmony with Shoushan's natural scenery. Heading north from Chiho Mountain, passing through Shoushan and the twin Kaohsiung Hills, you reach the northern boundary of Shoushan Natural Nature Park, Panpinshan. The name Panpinshan carries a poetic description. It rises abruptly from the plains like a row of screens or a folding fan. Its shape resembles a mountain sliced in half by an axe or a screen unfurled like a banner. It has long been a famous landmark, rich in limestone resources. After World War II, large-scale cement quarrying lowered its height and changed its appearance from what it once was. In 1936, Japan, in line with its southward expansion policy, announced its fifth armament plan. They planned to build new fuel plants to meet wartime demand. In 1941, they finalized the establishment of 6 such plants. The Wandan port was reconstructed as Joing Naval Port, adjacent to Panpinshan. Thus, the 6th naval fuel plant was built here. Following the establishment of the 6th naval fuel plant, underground reservoirs and water supply tanks were successively constructed in the surrounding area. These facilities supplied water to the plant complex, the naval port, staff dormitories, military barracks, and the naval hospital. To protect the area, batteries were built on both the northern and southern sides of Panpinshan. Located at the northern tip of Panpinshan, the North Peak Bunker was built in 1945. It was part of the Kaohsiung Fortress defense system. Its purpose was to defend the Joing Naval Port and the heavy industrial zones below Panpinshan. The structure was designed as a fortified gun emplacement. It was built by tunneling through the northern peak of Panpinshan. It consists of 3 levels, upper, middle, and lower, made of reinforced concrete. All its openings face northwest, toward Zoing Harbor. It was a critical military facility at the time. In 1945, the U.S. launched air raids on Kaohsiung. The 6th fuel plant became a prime bombing target. To maintain production and fuel supply, the plant decided to excavate tunnels at the base of Panpinshan to build a more concealed fuel facility, now known as the Cave Factory. The Cave Factory is made up of 3 interconnected tunnels. Each measures about 60 meters long and 6 meters in both width and height. The northern tunnel housed petroleum regeneration devices and smoke ducts. The smoke duct was an arch-bricked structure with a vertical shaft leading outside the mountain. The southern tunnel contained the boiler for lubricating oil production. The base of the boiler remains preserved today. Its curved foundation is still faintly visible.
Oh, there's a secret base under the mountain. What are they doing? Looks like they're making something.
The Cave Factory was completed in 1945, but never operated due to the end of the World War II. It was forgotten and buried beneath Panpinshan for decades. In 2003, during the construction of the Joing Station Railway project, workers discovered the complete tunneled structure. The Cave Factory was thus rediscovered.
Huh? Why did they all leave? Seems like they don't have to keep working anymore. Wake up! I think I just went to so many secret places in Shoushan. I think I had the same dream. Shoushan is such a fascinating place.
Yeah! History is an ever-turning wheel. Shoushan National Nature Park holds within its thousands of years of cultural history, from ancient Beizong historical sites to Dutch-era timber and limestone industries, to the rise and transformation of Joing Old City, to the opening of Takao Port and the arrival of the British Consulate, and later to Japanese-era parks and military fortifications. From poetic depictions to military strategies, every corner of Shoushan is filled with historical resonance. The passage of time has only deepened its cultural essence. It creates a perfect harmony between nature and culture. This place is not only a cluster of hills and landscapes, but also a grand vista of harbors, rivers, and plains. Everywhere you go, human stories and emotions are vividly present. It deserves to be explored deeply and appreciated thoughtfully. Then you will truly feel the charm of Shoushan.